כל השנה הלכות בכל יום מבטח לו שהוא בן העולם הבא. בעזרת השם, today is the 10th of the month of Kislev, Thursday, the 5th day of the week of Parashat Shabbat Vayetze. Bezrat Hashem will be discussing today two mitzvot d'oraita, mitzvah number 117 and 118. 117 tells us that we are prohibited to bring in chametz, anything that became chametz, or honey onto the altar of the Beit HaMikdash. And also mitzvah number 118 will be there will be prohibition of bringing any korban, isur d'oraita, that will be lacking salt. Now there's just interesting to point out, salt is so important, the Gemara says, you could eat everything in the world you want. But then Gemara adds, you may not eat anything without salt. So we'll learn the aspect of salt, the importance of it, Bezrat Hashem, and the korbanot. Mitzvah today, our Bezrat Hashem Mukdash, the limut today is Mukdash, Bezrat Hashem, l'refuah shlema b'meira of all the Jews, wherever they are suffering, mentally, physically, spiritually. Hashem should have rahmanut on them, and all the names that we usually mention, Hashem should have rahmanut on all of them specifically, because they have asked us to mention the name, but it's too many to take the time. And Bezrat Hashem should have refuah shlema to all Am Yisrael. Also, Hashem should immediately release and send back all the Jews who are in any captivity, in any capacity, jail or by criminals. We don't know. We don't care. Hashem should have rahmanut on them, wherever they are, whoever they are, and have mercy and send them out immediately. Put fear in their captive holders, even if it's legit. Somebody tells me yesterday, according to the American law, she broke the law, therefore she should go to jail. No, she shouldn't go to jail. We were discussing. There was a discussion of a boy, a 17-year-old, being active with a girl who's over 20, and therefore the mother was complaining. Maybe we should put the girl in the jail. Chas v'shalom. According to Torah law, there is no statutory rape. There is no rape at over 13 and over 12. Today's world in America, it's amazing how they are training the children from the age of 5 to have intersexual relations, but God forbid, if they get married over 12 years old until 17. It's amazing. This is the most outrageous laws and outrageous behavior of any government to behave in such a manner. They're going to be pushing sexual thoughts and relationships and behavior into children from the age of 5, and then they don't want them to be active with it until the age of 17, or even God chas v'shalom to get married until the age of 17, even without parents' permission. This is outrageous. But Bezrat Hashem, we are. Good morning, everybody.
Rabbi, how are you?
No, please sit down. You want to continue the middle of learning now.
Bless me.
Just one second, yeah. So Bezrat Hashem should also send out all our Jews wherever they're in prison. If that's a matter, as we just pointed out, the laws around the world are going haywire, putting Jews in jail for no reason, for the most silliest things. Anyway, also Hashem should send back all our soldiers immediately who are in harm's way. Hashem should protect them. Mitzvoth to that, mitzvah number 117. We have a prohibition of bringing on the Mizbeach, on the altar, salt or honey, and anything that is limited, anything that has became chametz. It says in the Torah, in the chapter 2, pasuk 11 in Vayikra, ki kol seor v'chol davash lo taktiru mimenu ishel LaHaShem. The pasuk tells us like this: Kol hamincha asher takrivu LaHaShem. Any gift offering that you bring to Hashem, lo te'aseh chametz. Prohibited. It was a prohibition bringing chametz into the Beit HaMikdash. Kikol soor v'chol davash, anything that's become chametz and anything that's honey, lo taktiru b'menu ishel LaHaShem. You are prohibited to bring on the korban for the altar of Hashem. Korban reshit takrivu otam Hashem ve'al hamizbeach lo ya'alu l'reach nichoach. So now the korban of first that you must bring, but over there those things should not go up on the altar for the smell of Hashem, meaning not even into the Ktorit. Okay, we'll see. Not even a spice of anything. ונכפלה מניעה בראש הפסוק, the beginning of the pasuk also doubles the prohibition, שנאמר, כל המנחה אשר תקריבו להשם. Over there it says, any gift offering that you bring to Hashem, לא תעשה החמץ. You are prohibited to make chametz. Again, so it's a double repetition over here. So the Rabbi explains, ודבש הוא שם כולל לדבש הידוע. It's, what is dvash? What is dvash? So dvash is honey, everybody knows. וכן דבש, תמרים. So now you might think which dvash? Dvash of the bees, the honey of the bees, and obviously the less common today. I don't know much people who use this, but in olden days, and dvash honey was not made out of bees. When Hashem, actually, by the way, it's good to point out when the Torah says Eretz zavat chalav udvash, the land that flows with honey and milk, the milk and honey. It doesn't mean the honey of the bees, chas v'shalom. It actually means what we have today, Baruch Hashem. The prophecy has already been fulfilled again. The most exporter of dates in the world is the land of Israel. The most productive of dates. And that's what it means. The dvash, the honey that floats out of the dates. In olden days, the bracha was so great that the milk of the cows would be so much in a cow's stomach that it would be just flowing out on its own. And every day, daily, there will be a river where the cows were positioned a certain way. So when the milk was flowing, they were actually on the street. You could go out, pick up a cup, pick up a drink a shakol, make the honey. The same thing. All the trees, all the palm trees and everything, the dates were so heavy with honey, they would burst. And the honey would be spilling. Same thing, there will be a river by the street as you were walking. On the side will be, on one side milk, on one side honey. And that's what it means. Eretz zavat chalav. That's one of the pirushim. And a mother would send out her child in the morning, go dip your finger into the honey and enjoy. That's what it means. Stam dvash shel Torah. So anytime the Torah tells you the honey, it means from the date, not from the bee. So anything that comes out, all this the juicy stuff that comes out of this sweet fruits, that would make it to the honey. Now the Rabbi says, now what is included here? The Rabbi here points out right away that it means you're not allowed to bring it to even on the ketoret. שהפתמים אומרים יפה היד הדבש לקטורת אלא שהזרותה תורה. The people who are obviously into the industry of spices, they will tell you that honey would make a very good smell with mixture of the pesamim of the ketoret. But the Torah forbade putting honey, and therefore we don't do it. But in reality, it would make it a very essential smell. שורשי מצווה זו נעלמים מאוד למצוא אפילו רמז קטן מהן. Rabbi says, I don't know what is the foundation of this mitzvah. What is the prohibition? Why is Hashem so much concerned about prohibiting us bringing in anything chametz or honey onto the mikdash? So the Rabbi says, I'm perplexed. I don't know. ואולם מפני שכבר הודעתי בפתח דברי שכוונתי כי באלו הטעמים שאני כותב להרגיל הנערים ולהתאים להם בתחילת בואם לשמוע דברי ספר. Reality, I already told you, there is no reasons for the Torah. There is no reasons for the mitzvot. I'm not here to dispel or tell you exactly what Hashem's plans are. The purpose of this book is, the Sofer, is just to get you involved a little bit, especially the children, the youth, who are completely, they're far away from anything. You want them to get some kind of elation, some kind of excitement about something. But here the Rabbi says, I don't know. I have no reason for it. The Torah has so many reasons. So, but however, we are weak to understand. There are a lot of other reasons, but we still are weak to understand. Again, so in order for children not to see the Torah so perplexed, Torah is so confusing or so not understanding, Has v'shalom, they will just go away from Torah. So that's why I wrote this book, to give you some little taste. In reality, not everything that I say here is 100% the main reason. I could reveal to you a lot of secrets the Rabbi says, but they are not the main reason. Obviously, we don't know the reasons and foundations for all the mitzvot that Hashem gave us. Therefore, I would write whatever comes by to my first thought. Unless, listen, when we're talking about a foundation, we're not talking about reality. When the chinuch tells us aspects and elements of reality, of facts, what is Torah and the Torah and the Gemara, that's one thing. But here he's telling us that sometimes I'm going to give you a pirush according to Anu Dati, according to my understanding, what is the foundation of this mitzvah. But again, don't take me, take this is the main thing. That's not the point of this book. And the Rabbi explained to us. So here, the Rabbi tells us right away, I ain't got no idea. I don't understand. What is so problem with Hashem's forbidding us to put honey on the altar or the Chametz? Again, you have to understand that anything that's related to korbanot, it's all about yoytze lapoal. Anything that we do korbanot is to actually go and do something physical. Maybe, therefore, the Torah tells us to take out chametz. And the problem with chametz could be, maybe there's a hint that in order for something to become chametz, it takes time. And in reference to when it comes to korbanot, it's 1, 2, 3. You have to do it hastily to korbanot. ייקח דמיון לקנות מידת הזריזות והקלות והמהירות במעשה השם ברוך הוא. So the korbanot is all about hastily, to do things quickly without any delay. So maybe, maybe that's one of the reasons why chametz would be asur. As I say, just told us, be light and swift like an eagle, and run like a deer, and be might as a lion, to fulfill Hashem's will. So here the chametz represents delay, and that's maybe one of the reasons the Rabbi says we have prohibition of chametz. במנחת היחידים יותר ממנחת הציבור, לפי שהייאוש והעצלן נמצא ביחיד יותר. Yeah, the Rabbi says that the delay of fulfilling, or delay of movement, the delay of movement, it's found by individuals, and therefore, כי הרבים יזהירו זה את זה, ולכן לא תקפיד התורה על זה במנחת הציבור הבאה מזמן לזמן, כגון שתי הלחם של עצרת, אבל בלחם הפנים אף על פי שהוא נקרא גם כמנחת ציבור, מחמת שהיא מנחת תמידית, בכל שבת ושבת תקפיד התורה בה, ונצטווינו גם כן בה שתהיה מצה. So again, so there are, apparently here the Rabbi says, there is something that is chametz, which was related only the korban, certain korban of a community. Once a year, that was be allowed to be chametz. Everything else would be matzah, and even lechem apanim, which was performed on the fact of the tzibur, of the community factor. Still, it would not be. It would be done in the matzah. But again, anything that's related to individual korban cannot be brought, and all those 40 lechamim, where a person brings the korban todah, thanking the korban over there, also has to be matzah. ובעניין הרחקת הדבש נאמר אל הילדים. So that's what we understand, maybe chametz. What about honey? So the Rabbi says that Kederi Yasram, so we're going to take it to the lower level, to understanding of a small child, why honey would be asur into the korbanot. שהוא סיבה לדמיון שמעט אדם מלרדוף אחר המאכלים המתוקים לחיקו כמנהג הזוללים והסובבים וימשכו לעולם אחר כל מתוק ולא ייתן לבו כי אם אל המאכלים המועילים לגופו וצריכים למחיותו ושומרים בריאות איבריו. So now the Rabbi went, I'm telling you, like a 3-year-old stage. So he's telling us the reason why honey may not be included in the korbanot is to distance a person's understanding of this world. He's talking to a 2-3-year-old, but today it's amazing. People would go to askara, to your side, or something, and make a meal out of a shiur. Shiur 8:15 at night. No, there is a askara over there. We're gonna cancel the shiur today. We're going to go to Askara because people are actually going. I don't know what they're going for. Meal, not a meal. They'll tell you they're going there to grow, to be mechazek inyan. I go there, I give the rashot. They're talking in the middle, left and right. And I don't know what's the point of this whole thing. Who gave permission? So therefore, the best thing is yesterday I was at Askara. Yorza, somebody made an Askara with the Suda, and it was actually an hour before my shiur. So I was very happy. Hour before my shiur, I came in, I gave my honor to the family, and we gave hopefully some divrei torirut for the B'Kedusha, B'Taorah, for the family, and for the Nishmat. But still, the element of this whole concept is let's make the Sudot. First of all, the Askarot should be made in the shul, and it should not be spending liquors. I came in like 15 bottles of liquor. The table was set for 40 people, and everybody's merry over there. What about Torah? That's the Ikar. So the Askarot obviously should be made in the Bet Midrash. If possible, that the people who are learning should have something to munch on. Okay, that is something that's preferable. So here the Rabbi says, why no Dvash, Rabbi Yosef? Why we don't have Dvash on the Korbanot? Because to teach you not to run after pleasures of the world, maybe. You hear, Yosef? That's the main thing, Eliyahu. Crazy. That honey represents sweetness. And people run after sweetness whole life. So Hashem says, no honey on my mizbeach. So, again, that's a very low level of why no honey. That's much gashmiyut. So the Rabbi says, maybe that's the element. I don't know exactly the reason why Hashem has a problem with honey, but could be the reason. And the Korban is all about to elevate you, Kedusha, to elevate you spiritually. So Hashem didn't want to have a mixture of that in the element of Korban. The Rabbi said, I'll tell you another reason that I heard the prohibition. The reason is like this. לפי שהשאור מגביא עצמו, וכן דבש מעלה רתיחתו הרבה. ולכן נתרחקו לרמוז כי תועבת השם כל גבל. Yeah. Again, what's Chametz? Chametz is about Gava. That's why we burn it on Pesach to take away the Gava from within us. Same thing here. That since it's Gava, it's all about holiness, both of them. And therefore Hashem told us not to bring in a korbanot, because the whole point of korban is to leashpil you, to break you down, and to break your ga'ava, and to become a better person. ועוד ראיתי בפירוש הרמב"ן זיכרונו לברכה, שכתב כן, וזה לשונו, וברור שהקורבנות לרצון השם נכבד, לא יבואו מן הדברים שלהם היד החזקה לשנות הטבעיים. Therefore, all the korbanot are for the purpose of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So anything that changes the relationship with a person, again, a person eats nice hearty sandwich, he already becomes a gibor chayil. That's again, so that's not something that Hashem wants you to be. וכן לא יבוא מן הדברים המתוקים לגמרי כמו הדבש, and therefore Hashem also didn't want me to make something that's very too sweet. רק מן המזוגים, כאשר אמרו שלום לברכה בבריאת עולם, שתיטב מידת רחמים במידת הדין ובראו עד כאן. Okay, so that's so again, he doesn't want this element of too much holiness, too much prideness is which bread, and sweetness of this enjoyment of this world. So the Rambam also, I guess, points out. So again, do we have a real concept of understanding what Hashem wants? But to this question, there are going to be 42 million reasons. And as we said, this book is not for that. It will give you just a little bit tamim, give you a little bit of introduction to the purpose of what the Rabbi thinks for that we could present to our children. דיני המצווה כגון מה שאמרו זכרונו לברכה, שכל המנחות הקרבות לגבי המזבח בעוד מצה. Everything that was brought down in the בית המקדש was everything מצה. כמו שאמרנו, וכן שיערי המנחות שאוכלים את הכהנים, any gift offering the כהנים also consume, אף על פי שהן מותרים לאכול אותן בכל מאכל ודבש, אין אוכלים אותן חמץ, שנאמר, that everything that was allowed to be eaten, so all the flour that was brought by individuals that was given to the chametz, to the kohanim, it must be cooked prior to the 18 minutes before it becomes chametz, and right after the mixture with water. So that I guess that was the condition. Kohanim, you're allowed to eat from this, but it has to be done in the form of matzah and not chametz. Same thing, even though it's not no longer in the Beit HaMikdash, but that was the condition. Shneimar lo te'afeh chametz chelkam. The Torah clearly points out that kohanim were not allowed to make chametz out of that flour. ויש במשמע אפילו על חלקם לא יחמיצו. ואם יחמיץ שיריה לוקה, ולוקין על כל עשייה ועשייה שבה. Or if the Kohen goes ahead and allows its flour to become chametz, if after the warning he continues to do it, he will get lashed. Ketzad, lasha chametz or aracha chametz or ktufa chametz or afaa, anything that has to do with lo taaseh chametz. That's you're not allowed to make chametz out of it. So over there, that's one of the rules. ואין לא תתיד חיטין של מנחות שמא יחמיצו. Again, what about somebody bring kernels of flour of wheat? So over there also same thing that you should not make them wet. ואף על פי כן אמרו זיכרונם לברכה שהמנחות הנאפות היו נולשות בפורשין ומשמרים אותן שלא יחמיצו שהכהנים זריזין הן. Same concept. Everything in the Beit HaMikdash is done zrizut. It's done without any delay. So that could be again pointing out to the same element, chametz not to be brought in the mizbeach. Uzor dvash isurin b'chol shehu. The chametz and honey, with little gram, will make everything asur. Shenemar lo taktiru mimenu. As the Torah tells us, klomar afilu kol shehu. The Torah tells us even a little bit. So now let's see over here. Rambam zochrano l'bracha. Hashav isur seor dvash lelav echad. Now, what's going on here? The Rabbi says, according to Rambam, 117 includes both Isur of Chametz and Dvash and honey bred together. Okay, let's see anybody argues on him. Rav Rabbeinu Moshe Bar Nachman, Udvash Shnei Lavin. Okay, Ramban argues with him and says there are two Isurim here, two numbers of mitzvot separately on their own. It's not prohibition that includes. So therefore he says, again, so the Kohanim are prohibited to bring the chametz and honey to the Beit HaMikdash and any korbanot, as that's their job. Mitzvah number 118. Now, the Rabbi doesn't point out the way, again, no, he does say, he says right that there's lashes. Any Kohen who doesn't follow the Torah over here, follows the rules, he gets lashed because they're actually deed over here. And if that's the deed that they break, they get punished. Mitzvah number 118. Shelo le'akriv korban velo melach. We have a prohibition bringing a korban or sacrifice without salt. Shelo le'ashbit melach me'al korban o hamencha. Klomar, shelo yakriv hakohanim shum korban o shum mincha ela im ken yasimu bahen melach shene'emar. The Torah tells us specifically, nothing, no korban, no sacrifice could be brought without salt in it, as it says in the Torah, chapter 2, pasuk 13 in Vayikra. You're prohibited to take out, to exclude salt from any offerings. It's written there, and then there's a pasuk mitzvah doraita commandment that you should bring salt on every korban. Again, we already explained the whole point of korbanot is to break down a person's ga'ava, break down his holiness, and to bring it to maaseh, to instill and to engrave it into his heart the purpose of all this service to the Mikdash. As our sages told us, Masechet Menachot, chapter 21, pasuk aleph, שמצווה למלוא הבשר יפה כאין מולח בשר לצלי שבורחו משני צדדיו. Now, the salt has to be sprinkled under the korbanot, just like you do with a regular steak. You salt it on both sides, not just a little bit, and you make it nicely with yavad afilu malach kol shehu kasher. However, according to Torah, even you put 1 gram of salt on a whole bull, it's also going to be enough because the Torah told you put melach, didn't tell you how much. Melach shemorchin bo hakorbanot hu mishel tzibur. Who pays for the salt in the Beit HaMikdash? Okay, we already spoke about it. The money that's collected from Rosh Chodesh Adar till Nisan, that's the Machatzet HaShekel. That money will be used from the whole community together to salt all the korbanot. כמו העצים ואין היחיד מביא מלח או עצים לקורבנות, וכל זה מהגדלת הבית במקום השירות ליקה עניות. Again, an individual and himself cannot take the mitzvah to bring the salt. It has to be done from the community together. ובשלושה מקומות היו נותנים המלח. The 3 times that the salt was given, בלשכת המלח ועל גבי הכבש ובראשו של מזבח. So there are 3 places. So בלשכת המלח, where the salt was stored, housed. So right there, they would put them. From there on, they would put meat, the salt on the meat. Also on the ramp going up to the altar, and also on top of the mizbech before putting it on the fire, they would also put salt. בלשכת המלח היו מולחין אורות הקודשים. By the storehouses, they would put salt on the what's his name on the hive, the skin of the animals. And HaKodashim ve'al gabei hakevesh hayu morchin ha'evarim. So anything that was brought up on the ramp, the pieces that will be salted there. U'b'rosho shel mizbeach morchin ha'kometz ve'alebona. So, however, by the top of the mizbeach, any gift offering that was brought in the flour with everything that will be salted there. V'amenachot nisrafot ve'orot ha'of. So any other gift and the burnt offerings will be also made the protea. Protea mevuarim בפרק השביעית בזבחים. Go chapter 7 in פרק זבחים, it will be brought down. This mitzvah is by in the Beit HaMikdash. Kohanim males ki lahem al hashlim tzorchei al-korban. For they are the ones who are busy with korbanot. V'kohen ha'over alea. Ekrit korban mincha belom melach. As v'shalom, any kohen that brings a korban without salt, he broke this mitzvah. V'gam over alav ze v'lokeh. So there's a mitzvah commandment and there's a prohibition. So obviously, if he brought a korban without salt, he would get less. There's a tip here. Bring a korban without salt, and Bezat Hashem, have a wonderful day.